Welcome, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Altadena, California, which is north of Pasadena. Let's get this windshield washed a little bit. Maybe we're a little bit northeast of Pasadena. We're at Mountain View Cemetery today. I want to say thank you to those who joined me live. Sure was fun to answer your questions. Today we will visit with the original Superman, George Reeves. Civil rights leader Eldridge Cleaver, he's interred here. Charles Richter, the inventor of the Richter Scale, among others. This is a cemetery. How do I know? Because the headstones are above ground. Go over and take a look on my Facebook page. It's called Diamond Dave. It's called Famous Graves with Diamond Dave. Go over and take a look at it. If you like it, join. Doesn't cost you a penny. Let's pull over and take our walk.
Funeral directors.
Nice to meet you.
Here at Mountain View Mausoleum and Cemetery. We're here in, of course, Altadena, California. I always tell this story. One day on a Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm unlocking the cemetery gates. And as I'm unlocking the gates, this dude on a motorcycle pulls up. And I said to him, "Sir, can I help you?" And he said, "I'm here for Superman." And all I could think of, I thought to myself, get a life. But anyway, like I am, he's a big Superman fan. And we're honored to have Mr. George Reeves here. He's the original Superman. And he, of course, was at the Pasadena Playhouse. And he was in the original opening scene, of course, of Gone with the Wind. He did some film noir, those black and white detective movies in the 40s. And then he went and did From Here to Eternity in Hawaii. But when people were screening the TV show, they said, "Oh, there's George Reeves, there's Superman." So they had to cut some of his scenes out. But George Reeves rests here at Mountain View Cemetery here in Altadena, California. We always love to have everybody, as the guys are here today visiting in from Las Vegas, and we'd love to see you here, and we thank you them for shooting this video. So God bless you, have a wonderful weekend, and watch Superman on TV or on YouTube.
Yes, thanks for your hospitality. What was your first name again?
Denny, like Denny's restaurants.
Okay, my friend. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much.
Nice to meet you guys.
Okay.
Take care. And good luck with your parole hearing on Monday.
Oh, yeah. I got to get back for my hearing.
Yeah. So, you guys call it vacation. I call it extradition,
Thanks so much, my friend.
No worries.
Okay, some of you asked me to go on camera. Here I am. This is a great mirror right here at the Pasadena Mausoleum. I got my list. Graveyard Hunt right here. Today I'm wearing my shirt, Famous Graves with Diamond Dave. Thanks for your support. Let's keep moving on. Hey, looky here. Right off the bat, I find a new friend. Coyote. Looking for the Roadrunner. I see these guys out here now and then. See if I can get close. Nope. Gonna wander off. I think I'll name her Simba. Cemetery. This cemetery has very large trees throughout. Walking up on our first famous grave visit. By the way, if I find a snake, this video ends and I'll run forever. Oh boy. Don't like snakes. First famous grave visit is Charles Richter, seismologist. He is the noted inventor of the Richter Scale, which is a device used to measure the size of earthquakes. You guys probably already know this. In 1935, he was a professor at the California Institute of Technology when he fine-tuned the Richter Scale. As a result, they placed them throughout the West Coast to measure fault movements. He lives from 1900, dies in 1985. This was actually our second grave visit. Superman was first. Right next to the road, if you notice this building and that palm tree, this is the resting place of Eldridge Cleaver. Lives from 1935, dies 1998 at the young age of 62 here in California. A loving heart and helping hands.
It's my belief that Ronald Reagan is a punk, a sissy, and a coward, and I challenge him to a duel. I challenge the punk to a duel to the death, and he can choose his own weapons. Could be a gun, a knife, or a marshmallow, and I'll beat him to death with a marshmallow. You know, I lived in this area for a number of years. Folsom Prison is about 20 miles from here, I understand. And I had reason to keep my eye on what was going on in Sacramento. The prison system, the adult authority, had this headquarters here in Sacramento, appropriately here in the pig pen. I know that my parole officer has his comrades here today, his agents here. Same thing for Ronald Reagan, same thing for the adult authority, the same thing for all the wardens of all the prisons, all the pigs, the hogs who patrol the prisons. I feel it's necessary to say that.
He was a leader of the Black Panther movement, civil rights leader. This might surprise you. He was a conservative Republican. I take it he didn't like Ronald Reagan. Gonna stop the video right here just for a second. I've learned that 88% of my viewers are not subscribers. This is your chance now. 1001, 1002, 1003. Please subscribe. Let's keep moving. And thank you for watching the video this long. Please stick with me to the end. It would just mean the world to me. Next is a pretty smart fella. This is Richard Feynman. He lives from May 11th, 1918. He dies February 15th, 1988 at the age of 69. He dies of stomach cancer. He wins the Nobel Prize in Physics. This is back in 1965. According to the Nobel Prize Committee for fundamental work in quantum electrodynamics with deep plowing consequences for the elementary particles. Man, I have no idea what I just said. I don't think he'll mind. I was laughing just now. From what I've learned, he had a terrific sense of humor. Okay, well, let's bring him in here. Maybe I'll learn something.
Now I'm going to discuss how we would look for a new law. In general, we look for a new law by the following process. First, we guess it. Then we well, don't laugh, that's really true. Then we compute the consequences of the guess to see what, if this is right, if this law that we guessed is right, we see what it would imply And then we compare those computation results to nature, or we say compare to experiment or experience. Compare it directly with observation to see if it works. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make any difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make any difference how smart you are, who made the guess, or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. That's all there is to it.
I'm still trying to figure out a protractor. We're in Mountain View Cemetery, Altadena, California. Our next stop is an interesting story. This is the resting place of Rudolph Hass. He was born in Milwaukee on June 5th, 1892. He died in San Diego at age 60, October 24th, 1952. He dies of a heart attack. His story is he was a mail carrier at the Pasadena post office. When along his route, he spotted an old, unproductive, abandoned lot of avocado trees. He spent his life savings along with borrowing some money from his sister and bought the plot of 1.5 acres. He came up with the idea to graft specimens with budwood, which was a big success. Today, his avocados sell in a variety of grocery stores. Surprisingly, even though he did a patent, he only made $5,000. This is a marker to this day where his first tree was planted. He never did quit his post office job. His first tree was planted at 426 West Road, La Habra, California. Now we're at the Mountain View Mausoleum. This is actually across the street from the main cemetery. And there is a disaster response team that's doing some work here. And the reason why the mausoleum has caught on fire. It's the first time I've ever seen this. I'm pretty sure the door's going to be locked. The place is deserted. No visitors here. I have 3 famous graves in mind that I was looking forward to and finding here. Going to give it a try anyway. A friendly reminder that we're always on camera. And I gotta tell you, I can smell ashes. Kind of a weird feeling. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, door's locked. Not surprised. So I guess I'll just end right here and talk about the 4 grave visits that I was anxious to find. The first one is Herbert Hoover Jr. He's inside here. He was born August 4th, 1903. Died July 9th, 1969. He was the oldest son of Herbert Hoover. He earns his bachelor's degree from Stanford University and his master's in business degree from Harvard. In 1928, he was hired by Western Air Express to set up a communication system across the western United States to guide 15,000 miles of airways. Hoover's next interest was in radio, which turned him to the field of exploration of geophysics and the use of radio to prospect for oil in the United States. The Shah of Iran hired him to negotiate oil concessions. His success impressed President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who used him to broker a deal between the United States, Britain, and Iran, which turned out to be a huge success. Hoover suffers a stroke in Pasadena on July 6, 1969, dies 3 days later on the 9th. And then second stop within this mausoleum, I wanted to find a niche of actress Maudie Prickett. She had parts in Leave It to Beaver, Bewitched, Get Smart, Petticoat Junction, and Andy Griffith Show.
What in the world are you doing?
Well, we're boarding up the window.
Well, I can see that, but why?
Why?
Haven't you heard? There's been a burglar in the neighborhood, and the lock on the window doesn't seem to work, so it's just a precaution.
Well, wouldn't it have been a lot easier to have fixed the lock?
Oh, I never thought of that.
The idea.
She was born in Portland, Oregon on October 25th, 1914, died in Pasadena, California, April 14th, 1976, at the age of 61. And then next, I was hoping to find the grave of a Hollywood actor, a character actor. His name is Cy Kendall. He appeared in 140 films between 1935 and 1950. He was heavy-set, square-jawed, deep voice, making him perfect for wise guy roles, such as reporters, military officers, and mobsters.
Howdy, stranger. My name's Stiles.
Howdy. I'm Claiborne.
I'll give you $500 for your land and your shanty just as they stand. You can take your cattle and move on to a new range.
This place ain't for sale, Stiles.
I'll be more than fair. 1,000.
I'm not selling.
We're buying up this country with land scrip. You'd better take the 1,000.
I've held my homestead against Comanches. Reckon I can hold it against lamb thieves. Get out.
Sorry, Claiborne. $1,000 is a heap of money when all you've got to do is call your dog and move on.
He was born in St. Louis on March the 10th, 1898, and died in Woodland Hills, California, on July 22nd, 1953, at the age of 55. And the last stop I plan to make here at Mountain View Mausoleum before heading back across the street to more ground interments is the niche of Herbert Spencer, a murder victim. He was a California newspaper editor. He would write stories on the mob and bad guys. Interestingly, he dies mysteriously May the 20th, 1931, at the young age of 41. Stay with me. We're going back across the street. There's more ground interments that we'll look for. As I mentioned before, this video will probably be a little bit longer than what I normally do, so please watch to the end. Here we are, and this is where we met Simba Terry, our coyote friend. This is a grave of Wilbur Hatch. Lives from 1902, dies 1969. His story is he was a conductor, best known for being the conductor of the Desi Arnaz Orchestra. Later, he becomes a musical director for Desilu Studios and a close friend of Desi Arnaz. And here's Charles Manning. He's going to play Here's Lucy theme song. Thank you, Charles. That song was conducted by Wilbur Hatch. And we have a good neighbor to our immediate left. I'll clean it up a little bit. This is the grave of Charles Wysocki. He lives from 1928, dies 2002. He's an American artist specializing in Americana and bygone times. His work is seen on greeting cards, calendars, and jigsaw puzzles. His art always included an American flag. I got a little break there. I didn't have to walk around 30 minutes hunting for the next famous grave location. And I continue to be lucky. Close by is our next famous grave stop. This is the father, George Hopkins. We're here to see the son. George James Hopkins. He lives from March the 23rd, 1896, dies February the 11th, 1985 at age 88. He was an Academy-winning motion picture set decorator and interior designer. He worked on the sets of My Fair Lady, this is back 1964. Also worked on Hello Dolly, 1969. A Star is Born, 1954, and The Music Man, this is in 1962, among others. I noticed earlier there's a gap right here in the headstone, but it is solid, not going anywhere. It's a good day. I'm finding every grave location, every famous grave, plus I just hit my 10,000 steps. So some of you subscribers contact me. We can take a walk, meet up, and enjoy the fresh air. You can help me find famous graves. Samuel Stratton was born in Litchfield, Illinois on July 18, 1861. Died in Boston, Massachusetts on October 18, 1931. Of heart disease. He was a physicist. Also first director of the Federal Bureau of Standards, appointed by Theodore Roosevelt. So what in the world are you thinking is the Federal Bureau of Standards? Well, I looked it up. It's part of the United States Department of Commerce, whose mission is to promote American innovation and industrial competitiveness. Man, check out this oak tree. Mighty oak. Just don't see anything like this where I'm from. Las Vegas. Nothing like this in the Mojave Desert. I wish I knew the age of the oak tree. The famous grave of Ted Hussein. He's born in New York, November 27th, 1901. Died in Pasadena on August the 10th, 1962 at age 60. He was a radio broadcasting pioneer, one of the foremost play-by-play announcers in America.
How do you do, everybody? This is Ted Husing announcing. These sports slants will reveal some of the action in various branches of athletics. Slants on sports here, there, and everywhere.
He also appeared in many movies. Well, this wraps up our visit here at Mountain View Cemetery, Altadena, California. Another good weather day. By the way, be sure to take a look at my Facebook group, Famous Graves with Diamond Dave, because over there I will talk to you more and I'll announce when I go live, which is always fun. Everybody needs to be remembered, and happy trails as Superman guides me home.